This again is where you come to a series of mysteries.
Now, when they found that ancient Greek computer thing,
Very few of these have been found, and it may be that ship owners and navigators in Greek time.
The cavernous hall fell silent as Graham Hancock strode to the center, the muted hum of anticipation vibrating through the assembled crowd. For years, Hancock had fascinated audiences with his theories about lost civilizations and hidden technologies, but tonight's announcement promised to eclipse everything that had come before. With a calm yet resolute voice, he declared that humanity had just solved the ancient computer, a monumental breakthrough that challenged our understanding of history, technology, and the very nature of consciousness. This revelation felt like stepping through a portal in time, one that connected our modern digital age to a distant past, in which sophisticated knowledge had been encoded into stone, metal, and myth. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. Hancock's presentation began with the unveiling of a remarkable artifact, a cylindrical device carved from a single piece of black basalt, its surface etched with glyphs and cryptic symbols. Under the bright lights, the artifact gleamed like an otherworldly relic, capturing the gasps and whispered awe of the audience. Scholars had long known about its existence, trapped in a private collection, and regarded as little more than an exotic curiosity. Yet here it was, finally released into the global spotlight. Hancock explained that this device was not merely decorative, but functioned as an analog computer, capable of complex astronomical calculations and predictive modeling that rivaled, if not surpassed, many modern instruments. As the demonstration continued, a team of interdisciplinary experts took the stage. Mathematicians, archaeologists, linguists, and engineers collaborated seamlessly, revealing how decades of piecing together inscriptions and cross-referencing ancient myths had led to a breakthrough decode. The patterns etched across the basalt surface corresponded to planetary cycles, eclipse predictions, and tidal calculations. Lines and geometric shapes governed algorithms that steered agricultural calendars, navigational routes, and ceremonial rituals. What astonished everyone was the precision. Despite lacking electronic components, this ancient computer delivered accuracy that astounded even seasoned astronomers. It seemed to embody a level of scientific insight we had assumed impossible outside of our own technological epoch. Beyond unveiling the device's capabilities, Hancock spoke passionately about its implications for our understanding of human history. If ancient peoples possessed such advanced computational tools, history's conventional narrative needed rethinking. The rise and fall of civilizations, often portrayed as linear progressions, suddenly appeared cyclical and interconnected. Knowledge, rather than being discovered anew by successive cultures, might have persisted through hidden networks, handed down in symbolic codes, architectural footprints, and oral traditions. This ancient computer represented more than an isolated marvel. It formed part of a tapestry woven by ingenious minds across millennia. Underneath the archaeological excitement lay conceptual waves that rippled through multiple disciplines. For anthropologists, it sparked questions about cultural transmission and the potential for lost epochs of scientific brilliance. If knowledge could vanish or be suppressed, how many other technologies had succumbed to the tides of time? For historians, the discovery demanded fresh scrutiny of primary sources, myths, architectural alignments, ritual objects, seeking traces of coded references that had been overlooked. And for futurists and technologists, it offered a humbling reminder. Innovation is not solely a forward march, but a dialogue with our collective past. The room shimmered with projected animations, illustrating how the ancient device functioned in practice. Rotating rings mechanically linked through carved notches translated to celestial alignments. By adjusting the rings, operators could forecast solar and lunar positions decades in advance, track the movement of Venus, and predict seasonal shifts critical to planting crops. The animations, blending archaeology with cutting-edge visualization, transported viewers to an ancient observatory where priests and scholars gathered, gazing at the heavens and interpreting divine signs with the help of their computational wunderkind. Yet the most profound element of the presentation emerged when Hancock introduced the concept of symbolic encoding. The glyphs adorning the device were not only pragmatic instructions but also carried layered metaphors, sacred geometry interlaced with mythic narratives, cosmic births, floods, and renewals. creating a matrix of science and spirituality. This holistic approach suggested that ancient thinkers did not compartmentalize knowledge into secular and sacred, but perceived reality as an integrated whole. Their computing machine, then, was as much a tool for astronomical calculation as it was a vessel for philosophical contemplation. Implications for modern technology reverberated throughout the discourse. Engineers at the event pointed out that mechanical computation, while largely supplanted by electronics, possessed advantages in durability and energy efficiency. A stone-based analog computer required no electricity, had no vulnerability to electromagnetic interference, and could last for thousands of years if preserved. Could these principles inspire resilient technologies for remote or extreme environments? Perhaps future explorers on Mars or the Moon would carry analog devices that function without power grids, drawing on gravity and precise mechanical tolerances to guide navigation and timing. Hancock's revelation also dovetailed with a growing interest in alternative computing paradigms, quantum, optical, biological. The ancient computer demonstrated that ingenuity need not be confined to silicon chips. Materials science enthusiasts speculated about novel composites that mimic basalt's resilience, embedding microstructures for physical computation. Meanwhile, artists and designers envisioned installations blending tactile computing with sensory aesthetics, evoking the poetic layers encoded by ancient craftsmen. The discovery blurred the boundaries between art, science, and spiritual practice, suggesting a renaissance of multidisciplinary innovation. As questions poured in from the audience, one theme dominated: why had this knowledge vanished? Historians proposed a combination of cataclysmic events, political upheavals, and ideological shifts that suppressed or destroyed centers of learning. Empires conquered their neighbors and burned libraries, viewing advanced knowledge as dangerous or heretical. Oral traditions fractured, inscriptions eroded, and the dark veil of time concealed technological treasures. The rediscovery of this ancient computer illuminated a hidden resilience. The glyphs and mechanical structures survived precisely because their design intertwined with sacred traditions, protected by religious rites and embedded in ritual spaces. Across disciplines, scholars recognized a common thread: the necessity of interdisciplinary collaboration. Isolated examination had failed to crack the device. It was only through the convergence of diverse expertise that its secrets emerged. Linguists deciphered glyphic syntax, mathematicians mapped functional relationships, and engineers recreated mechanical prototypes. This cooperative model inspired a new blueprint for scientific exploration, dissolving departmental silos, fostering dialogues between humanities and STEM fields. The layers of meaning embedded within the ancient computer could only be unraveled by embracing multiplicity, honoring the complex worldview of its creators. Outside the hall, media lights flashed as headlines raced to characterize the discovery. Some spoke of lost civilizations, others proclaimed an ancient spacefaring culture, while mainstream outlets cautiously reported on the mechanics. Hancock urged restraint, emphasizing that evidence needed careful analysis. Sensationalism, he warned, risked overshadowing the true lessons, that human ingenuity has deep roots and that our ancestors' achievements deserve measured admiration. The ancient computer, rather than fueling wild speculation, should catalyze sober inquiry and humility. Futures markets and financial analysts, always quick to assess disruptive potential, began modeling scenarios where basalt-based computing spurred niche industries. Startups emerged overnight, proposing mechanical modules to augment digital systems and critical infrastructure. The idea of energy-free processors held tantalizing promise for microgrids, underwater sensors, and disaster-resistant networks. Though practical development lay years ahead, investors recognized the symbolic power of reconnecting modern innovation with primordial knowledge streams. Meanwhile, philosophical circles pondered the broader implications for consciousness and cognition. If early thinkers conceptualized algorithms through intuitive, hands-on manipulation of forms, what did that reveal about the cognitive processes underlying mathematics? Tactile exploration and metaphor-driven learning might have fostered deeper comprehension, integrating sensory experience with abstract reasoning. Education theorists speculated on reviving such methods, kinesthetic learning, embodied mathematics, to enrich modern pedagogy. Perhaps children learning geometry could benefit from manipulating mechanical prototypes rather than abstract symbols alone. Religious and spiritual communities responded with a mix of reverence and skepticism. Some embraced the ancient computer as evidence of divine inspiration or messages encoded by higher beings. Others cautioned against conflating scientific marvel with spiritual truth. Yet most agreed that the convergence of precise computation and mythic narrative offered a bridge between empirical understanding and existential meaning. Rituals could be reimagined to incorporate interactive elements, inviting participants to engage both heart and mind in harmonizing cosmic rhythms. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Graham Hancock's claim? What do you think was solved? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.